Alright, this is our second review of the day, and it's Zardoz.
Alright, well, I'll be taking over for this one. First things first, Zardoz has a 44% Rotten Tomatoes. It's directed by John Boorman. It was released in 1974, February 6th. The main actors, or actresses, Sean Connery, Charlotte Rampling, and, Sarah Kesselman. Alright, let's go into the story. And this is what I found online in the story, or the description. In the future, Earth is being ruled by Eternals, an advanced and secret sect of beings who reign over a savage group called Brutals. The Eternals have created a god named Zardoz to intimidate the Brutals, making them believe that killing is their natural state. However, Zed, played by Sean Connery, a brutal warrior, challenges that assumption when he enters the Zardoz monument and is captured by an Eternal, played by Charlotte Rampling. There, he learns the truth about the Eternals and the false god that rules society. Now, this is so crazy, I don't know what to say, but the story is there somewhere.
Movie.
You really have to enjoy this film to understand the story.
Oh my God,
you have to pay attention. Just figuring out the story in this is so much work. Like, I
had to listen to 2 reviews about this myself just to understand it and not sound like a complete dumbass about
Yeah,
it.
me too. I had to watch a review as well because it was such a weird movie. I just didn't understand it really.
This film, the story behind it, and it's a take on Wizard of Oz. Well, no, not exactly.
It spawns out of it.
Yeah. It's the Eternals and the ruling, and it's a take on false gods, society, and then it just throws in the Wizard of Oz alternative.
By the way,
story.
let me mention that if you haven't seen this movie, you're going to want to see it before you listen to this, because we're not going to go that in-depth into the storyline for you to understand it. We're going to be mostly talking about it. So it will be very hard to understand what we're talking about if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, and if we do explain it,
you're still not going to understand.
Yeah.
Well,
we could read you the dialogue from the actual movie, and you wouldn't understand.
Yeah. I don't think you like it either.
Part of the joy of watching this is just to figure out what the hell you were watching. It starts off
as like a sci-fi adventure fantasy movie, and one of the first lines, the wiener.
No, alright, I have it written down.
Oh,
the gun is good,
Such a
the
bad
penis is evil. It shoots seed, the gun shoots death, and purifies the earth.
So the gun is good, but then also bad.
No, the gun is good, the penis is evil.
Basically, Zardoz is not a fan of reproduction.
Yeah, he's
Pretty much his job was he was trying to convince them that killing was their natural state of the Brutals. Zardoz is a god, he's from the Eternals. He's portraying a god to these Brutals and convincing them how society is that they have to kill, and that's their natural state, is killing. You remember in one of the first scenes is when the floating head drops guns, and then they repeat that line.
That was so strange. Really.
The gun is good, it purifies, and they're sitting there dropping. Yeah, it was like multiple loads of guns. It just drops the most random guns, shoots them out, and they're like, here's some more, buddies. And then they're sitting there like going around shooting.
Yeah, that's the only really memorable scene from that film, if you ask me.
The beginning now is interesting when Zardoz and his freaking weird-ass head sitting there explaining the story. It's so much to just drop on you within seconds.
My question is, why did Sean Connery sign on for this movie?
I feel like
he
this was after what's it called? James Bond, right? I'm pretty sure.
Which one?
Well, one of them. I'm pretty sure he was just taking a break, and he was like, "All right, I
wanted to
get away from the role of James Bond."
He was tired of people saying he could only do those kind of roles.
Yeah, and this was definitely a different role. Oh dear, you could not pick a more different role.
The best fact about this movie is the guy that directed, what's his name, John Boorman?
Yeah, John Boorman.
He was originally going to direct Lord of the Rings. When
Wow.
I heard that, I was like, if this guy directed Lord of the Rings, I don't even want to know what would have happened.
Yeah, I was looking at some of his other movies.
Sean Connery plays Aragorn.
No.
I was looking at some of his other movies. I've only heard of one, to be honest, Defiance. That was from like 1970 something. It was an alright movie, but
Didn't he make Point Break?
did he? I don't remember.
Break, John Boorman?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No,
That was-
he didn't do it. It was some woman.
Yeah.
Wrong one. So what is with the obsession of rape in this movie?
I don't know. It's pretty
What is, like, the
weird.
sexual
Sean Connery,
overtones?
they go into his thoughts, and he just wants to fucking rape someone.
I think he was going against the god or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he betrayed the Zardoz guy.
He didn't mean to betray Zardoz. I think that was the feel they were getting there. Or
Didn't he want to betray him because Zardoz wanted him to stop killing?
Yeah,
At that one point?
He didn't want to, but Zardoz wanted him to. Zardoz was convincing him to.
He was trying to get him
kill
to take people captive, and I guess at that point he was too much of a psychopath. He wanted to keep killing people, but then at the end he didn't want to. We really need to get the director down here.
Yeah, he's still
interview
alive.
with that director.
Yeah.
He's alive. Wow.
Yeah.
The obsession. I thought the funny thing was that the females were in charge of the future place.
Well, it wasn't just females. There were guys there too.
Yeah, but the girl was in charge, correct?
One
female? Wasn't she in charge?
Yeah, kind of. I think it was a group thing. The Eternals all together. I love how the Eternals get old too. That's how they get rid of them. And there's a bunch of old people in the place like dancing and stuff.
That one scene towards the end with all the people getting killed. That was really weird.
Can they not get old enough so where they...
I don't believe they can die though. They're just getting older.
So once they get a certain age, they just throw them in there and they can't age anymore? They don't allow them to? So
I think they just...
Wouldn't they be able to sin all they want then? Wouldn't they be able to leave that place? Or
They're
have
too
no
old. They're
power?
delusional. Yeah, I think at that point. By the time they get there, they're kind of delusional. A lot of those people were out there. I love how the end though, or towards the end when they all went die, and then finally, the plot's so confusing at some points, but
There's a lot of random nudity in this movie.
Yeah, there really is.
yeah.
Plus, I
The
don't
one
understand why-
point where, do you remember the people with the disease? I can't remember what the disease is called, but they're all standing there, and Sean Connery just grabs her.
The mannequin-looking
Yeah,
girl?
and she grabs her, throws her on the
I
hay.
think that was trying to
Oh,
say
yeah, I
that
remember that, yeah.
that men go for the most innocent target, like the most...
Yeah, but he didn't want
Easiest?
her once he found out, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. But his instincts was to go for
I
it.
don't
think
remember
that's what
why
they were
later in
showing.
the movie that he healed them all by breathing into them. I don't know how that came to that, how it came to that.
Why is Sean Connery in his underwear this entire film?
Yeah,
Well, that's how all the
ask
Brutals
that.
are. They just dress like that. They're
They don't
Brutals.
understand. Like they don't ask why.
It's weird watching him run around in a diaper.
Yeah,
Well,
it really is. It really,
he pulls it off.
I feel like I was watching like a.
Just saying, it really is.
I feel like I was watching a porno for that movie.
It really did. One of the first scenes, he just sees this random girl naked on a horse. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, that.
And
one
then throughout
scene
the
with
movie,
the
people,
video.
their shirts randomly come undone. It gets really
Yeah,
weird.
the one scene where the Eternals are showing Sean Connery that
And it
video of all
seems
the
like
naked girls. In the
almost
mud.
every girl is attracted to
weird.
Sean Connery in this film.
Yeah, because
They
he's
all
the
wanna
brutal.
fuck
They
him.
all come in. Even the guys sitting there with him.
Oh,
Skin.
that tongue orgy. I don't even know what to say about that.
There were some trippy parts in this movie. To be honest, like if
They were trying to all get it.
Wasn't Sean Connery in like a bubble?
I don't.
Just like the middle of the film. Like a lot of
There were
Eternals
so many
attacking him.
sci-fi parts of this movie I just didn't understand completely.
That's why this movie is just enjoyable. Actually, I don't know if enjoyable is a word. It's a
find
challenge
it
to
enjoyable.
understand. You guys sit there. At least the colors are nice. I'll say that. It was the 70s.
I wouldn't
They
want
had
to
some
watch
nice
this movie ever
colors.
again.
Yeah, same here. I agree.
This is not a movie I'd wanna see
boring,
again.
Creepy and weird.
It's
not even so bad it's good.
Again.
Gotta say that
They
too.
just have a sequel.
The end of the movie was horrible too.
Yes. Oh yeah, the end was kind of
Not horrible,
depressing. I don't know what they had a son.
The couple is in a cave and it shows them
Yeah.
dying
Getting
throughout
older
the
and
ages.
Then their son
Then
just
their
goes away. I'm
skeletons.
just sitting there like, what is this?
So in this movie, Sean Connery is supposed to be like the peak of human perfection, physically and mentally. Pretty sure.
That may be. He was the brutal. I mean,
He was supposed to be like what's the best in a mankind, like the brutal guy who can also think.
yeah.
He was very intelligent.
Yeah, but
It was pretty weird.
some things I was a bit questioned about, to be honest. All right.
And I really thought, like, a lot of this stuff was pretty weird. Like, especially the one scene where the Eternals were showing Zed a video of a bunch of naked girls and rolling around in mud together just to see if you get an erection.
Oh,
that was
yeah,
so
trying to-
strange.
They really
Why would
wanted
do
to see
that?
if he could
They
get
were
an erection.
testing him. That was the whole point of him being there. He had 3 weeks or whatever. The tests were so interesting. And then he looks at the girl.
Why couldn't he talk at first? Did he just choose not to?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just choosing not to. Sitting there silent, like, what the hell?
And
Because
why was he being their slave? Could he not?
He was imprisoned.
It was a deep thing.
They took him in.
But he couldn't overpower them?
Probably not, I'm guessing. I mean,
He
they
didn't
can't
even
die.
try.
They couldn't die, if you remember.
Was Zed the most powerful of them all?
I don't know.
'Cause
He's just
he's
brutal. That got very lucky. I mean,
Sure.
Sean Connery, woohoo. But,
I honestly
Listen
just
to
thought
it.
this film was not even so bad it's good. It felt like a badly
It's-
directed porno film instead of
It did, like a sci-fi.
instead of a
porn.
sci-fi. I don't
Well,
know.
they
it's
forgot
sort
to
of
add in half the porn.
yeah, that 70s life with the movies. That's crazy.
Yeah, I really think all people were on
One of the most-
LSD making this
One
movie.
of the most awkward scenes is when they were staring at his erection.
Yeah, that
Oh.
was just bizarre. Really, they were just looking at it.
I was just like, what is wrong with these people?
Like, yeah, first of all, like, why would they have them rolling around in mud just to get them all excited? I mean, that was just like, why were they so
They
obsessed with
they
it?
had so many questions about human conception and
Well, because they
Simulation.
evolved.
reproduction.
They
Yeah,
evolved
stimulation
past
of the
this,
human
if you
being.
remember. That's why they're Eternals. I don't remember why they couldn't die. He stopped it. I don't know.
I think they could have stopped it, but they were kind of scared.
Yeah, and then he led them or
What do you
something like
think-
that. And then the Brutals broke in and started killing everyone. They're like, "Please kill me!" How'd the Brutals get in there again?
Yeah,
Oh, the shield went down. Was that it? Was there a shield around them? I don't remember.
The plot is just too hidden.
yeah,
And
I don't understand
the actual
this plot at
scenes
all.
that have the plot in them, they just don't make you care at all. It's not a movie like Lord of the Rings where you really get engrossed in it and you really start to enjoy all the different plot parts. It's like it's trying to be that, but it's just not. It's not interesting enough.
Once Zardoz brought up the
I don't
penis
even
is
think
evil,
Sean
I
Connery
lost
did
it.
a better job. I think he was a pretty good actor in this.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
saves me from being just.
I don't think the acting was.
Remember
the
when
worst
he was in a
part of
dress?
Yeah, and drag that was terrible.
this. I don't think the acting was the worst part of this.
Another guy was a drag too. Another guy was
And
dressed up.
the
as a
actors
woman.
and
I don't-
actresses really weren't that
I
bad.
don't know what was wrong with this director and the writers for this film. They must have been on a lot of LSD making this movie.
All right, so what was the part of the movie where you guys really just wanted to turn it off? If there was one.
I had to go with, like, once he said the penis is evil, I just lost it. Like, why
So
would
in
he
the first-
say that?
In the first 2 minutes.
Yes, because it
Chris?
just ruined it.
Honestly,
I
I
have to
don't
comment
know.
on that and say that kind of made me want to keep watching it just
Yeah,
to see
that
where they
was
would go with that. But then they
interesting.
didn't go anywhere with it.
It just creeped me out.
honestly, I didn't find like towards the end some stuff was getting crazy. I didn't. There was points in the movie where I had no clue what was going on. And
Was
that
there a part where you just wanted to turn it off?
That was the most, but really, no. I was just trying to figure out what the story and where it was heading, and I was already so into the movie that I was just like, I gotta figure out what is
For
going on.
me, is when he
with it.
first got there and he just saw the girl on the horseback and then she was nude. And then the next scene, he wouldn't talk. And then I thought that was going to be the entire movie of
Being awkward.
some feminine guy talking to him and threatening him while he just stands there like a complete dumbass. And I was like, this better not be the whole film. If Sean Connery doesn't even talk in the movie.
Yeah.
And then one scene he's just
There's
randomly
a
talking. They
lower
don't discuss it. They
rating
don't
of
mention it.
44%.
He's just randomly talking now. He
I-
can hear the entire film, but he just chooses not to talk.
I thought his friend or infant guy, whatever. I thought he was pretty cool, to be honest. I don't know what happened.
didn't like that guy.
What
creeped me
happened?
out.
He just randomly got aged 50 years?
Yeah, they were like level 2. Was that when they said level 2 meditation? They're all going whoa, 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 and the next thing you know, he's old, and he's like, no, I won't let in, or something. And next thing you know, he's.
I don't
old.
think that will ever be explained here.
Yeah, and then he's yelling at Sean Connery. All the old people are attacking
So,
Sean
It's a good thing
Connery.
they never made a sequel to this movie, honestly.
That'd be crazy.
So, Chris, since this is your movie, what would you give it a rating of out of 10?
I'd give it a 5 out of 10. I kind of enjoyed it.
I give it a 1. It just, I don't know what to say really about this movie. Just,
Like last time, I'm going to give it a personal rating and a professional rating because I need to represent the critics here. Professional rating, I give it a 0.5 out of 10.
That's a 54 Rotten Tomato, though.
I don't care. Real critics these
yeah,
days
44,
wouldn't like that
not
movie.
54.
And personal, I would give it a 1.5. Barely any better, but it did have a couple enjoyable parts that made me not want to turn it off, but there were so many bad scenes.
And the
and
gun is good.
I didn't like the setting either. Didn't like the setting at all.
I don't know. I didn't mind it.
Once the movie started with that guy's head floating around with the fake mustache and
Yeah,
goatee,
that was the part
I
where
knew
I
I
was
was in for,
wondering
like,
if I'm in.
I knew I
strange
was in
movie.
for. It felt so 70s. It really.
And then
did.
once it ended with them turning into skeletons and their son already grown up and gets
That was
leaves
my
the
least
cave.
favorite part of the movie, honestly, because that just made no sense to me. There was probably something behind that hidden,
Yeah, why
like
couldn't
some
they have
meaning.
just left off with them getting away.
Oh, they wanted to show. It gave a feeling to the movie. I just don't know
An
if I was
emotional feeling?
Yeah, some type of feeling.
you-
They tried to give it. I don't think it was successful.
It gave me a depressed feeling.
Would you
I
agree
didn't
that
care
this
at that
kind of
point.
like had something to do with like Darwin's theory of evolution, kind of with the evolution of man, kind of? Would you think at some degree, like them aging?
There may be some hidden plot there, but I don't know.
I don't think so at all.
I don't. There's a lot of themes behind this
Something I was
which
thinking about while I
we
was watching
can't
it 'cause I was
figure out.
bored while watching this movie.
I mean, this isn't Space Odyssey or 2001: Space Odyssey.
Oh, good. Bad movie.
Well,
You guys have anything else to add to this?
I would ask Krista, would you recommend Zardoz to friends, viewers, other friends?
I wouldn't tell them I watch it, but if they knew I watched it, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, watch it, man. Go ahead.
I wouldn't recommend this to anyone.
I would just want to forget about this.
This.
Never want to think about this again.
I don't want to say I've watched it to anyone though, like ever. I can't be proud about that in both.
All right. Well, that's it.